Hi, I'm Laurie Dobson, and I am downtown Ellsworth. Today is February 7th, 2021. So I've been wanting to talk about intolerance and injustice and censorship and the new morality. And wanted to also mention that as an older woman, I have experienced a lot of different ways of looking at these things over time. Things change all the time. Morality changes constantly. What happens is, as you go forward, the culture affects, things, current events, etc., people's reactions, and you find that what you believed back, when I grew up was, first of all, this would have been a vital downtown. It's still doing pretty good as far as downtowns go. Other things change too, though. Expectations. When I was growing up. Expectations around what you wore to work and what you did and how you acted, and obviously there was no social media but no distractions. When you're working. I remember being I had a job in the tourist business. So anyway, now things are totally different. The morality is different, and the requirements around people, everybody's being pressed to do something that they've never done quite in the same way that I've seen. This mask wearing is a change of telling people what they can put on their bodies in a way that goes way beyond kind of dress code, which, well, that was also a modifiable thing culturally. But intolerance is a new thing. And what I think is even more, it's the idea that there's injustice and it can be affected by if someone feels unjust because they've been taught that wearing masks is important and necessary, then it's an injustice anybody else does around you if they have a different view. And so you can censor them, you can cancel them, you can judge them, you can call them out, you can punish them, you can use your sense of injustice to override somebody else's view of what they should be tolerating and not tolerating in their own views. So this is a potential for a lot of anger and hostility towards people. And rather than being a friend to everyone, you are being an enemy when you put your fear and judgment out and controlling measures. But that's in my view, okay? And friendship is when you respect other people and you find yourself aligning on common grounds and common principles. Like the idea that you may disagree with someone, but you respect their right to say it. You may not have somebody's taste, but you respect their right to, to make it, to express themselves. And you may find yourself truly disagreeing with somebody's morals, but you don't, or political views, but you don't make them domestic terrorists. You don't try to, make them pariahs and strip them of their committees like they did to this Marjorie Taylor Greene. The woman has profound views, and not everybody agrees with them, but to put her on media as the latest enemy of the state, this is beyond putting the target of, that Sarah Palin said, putting someone in the crosshairs, and then the woman, the Southwestern politician, the woman Democrat that got shot by somebody in the head because of hate speech. And we know that it doesn't work. We know that hate speech has no place, and it was right that Sarah Palin was denounced for that. And it's also right that Nancy Pelosi should be denounced for calling Marjorie Taylor Greene the things that she's calling her. I don't know enough about the woman personally. All I know is that she was stripped of committees and she's been hounded out of the halls of justice because of her differing views, and that's wrong. It's just wrong. And it's wrong that AOC decided to make a podium out of her opportunity there. Not only did she say that she was caught, trapped, had a terrible experience at the Capitol, made everybody feel bad for her. She's probably using it just to get people to like her site or to get some money from somebody for saying some shit. So it was worth her while to risk her reputation. That's for sure. She must be given some real promotions that are coming her way. Just like when Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar folded their campaigns, but look what happened. She got to introduce Biden at the inaugural. And Pete Buttigieg is the Secretary of I mean, he's going to be on the cabinet, head of transportation. So you get rewarded for these things. People get rewarded or they get punished, and it's wrong, because those are just personal politics, and they're not for the good of the country. It's not for the good of the country to denounce people and call them domestic terrorists. 70 million people voted for Trump. I wasn't one of them, but I do support the right to disagree pleasantly but firmly. The experience of passive resistance, satyagraha, needs to be understood, and we need to make practices. We need to actively practice the principles that are the best ones for our country, and not the personal politics of the moment, which is what they're doing. So I think we need to understand who are our friends. Our friends are those who can respect my views, allow my differences, think the best of me, think the best of my motives, agree to disagree. Reasonable people do all the time. It's called diplomacy. The UN was established on the principles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by Eleanor Roosevelt. And I think it's time to resurrect that. It's time for some of the things that were good about the past to come back into the present. And that's what I'm trying to do with these videos. So stay tuned. Take care.